hello everyone. Good morning to you all. I know it's quite early, and personally I have already my second cup of coffee here, which was amazing, thanks to organizers. And today I'm going to speak on behalf of cross-functional teams and how they contribute to business. Why? Personally, I consider it important. For our client, it managed to double quarterly sales, as well as increased yearly revenue by 37%. At this point, you might actually wonder, who am I? And well, that's one secret I'll never tell. And yeah, I'm watching Gossip Girl for the third time in my life now, as you could guess from the slide if you have already seen it. Actually, I'm many things. In the past, I used to be a professional athlete, now just enjoying swimming on a weekly basis, and love hiking wherever it's possible. It also happens that I'm a certified animal rescuer here in Poland from an organization, Viva Intervention. And not surprisingly, a rescue dog mom. His name is Pin. It's Mr. Pin, actually. He has 3 paws and 1 Instagram, which helps us raise the awareness of intervention pets in Poland. Most importantly, for today, I'm a lead product designer at FireEye Studio, with more than 50 experienced developers and designers on board. We build custom digital experiences for forward-thinking enterprises and startups. Recently, I've also become a founding member at Memorizely, UX/UI learning platform. Today with this talk, I'm gonna answer for you following questions, like what's business success and how can we measure it? What are alternatives to cross-functional team approach? How exactly cross-functional team contributes to business? And later on, I'll share with you case in point from my personal practice and the project I'm currently leading. Now, what's business success? How do I know that my business is successful? Must say that financial metrics are key indicators here, such as increased revenue, market share, and profitability. These are quantitative measures of the effectiveness of companies' operations. There are also other financial metrics, such as return on investment, cash flow, and net income. However, alone, they do not provide the full picture of business success. There are also non-financial metrics, such as customer satisfaction and employee engagement. And be careful, because if you ask me, like, Natalie, what can we do to improve employee satisfaction? I'd say the answer is in the picture. Yes, FireEye Studio is kinda dog daycare, and we are all very happy about it. Now, back to business. By monitoring both financial and non-financial metrics, companies can gain comprehensive insights of their performance and make informed decisions to drive future success. Before diving too deep into cross-functional team approach, let's discover what are our other alternatives. There are actually a couple of them, and each of those has its disadvantages and advantages. Let's tackle the first one, metrics team approach. It is also known as two-boss system, because here individuals report to different managers for their various aspects of work. Let's imagine there is Jeff, for example, a designer. He was given a task which sales department provided an idea for. Later on, research and development found it feasible to implement, and suddenly he has 2 managers. The first one cares only about design task being done, and the other is his functional line manager. He is in charge of Jeff's training, career development, and routine tasks. This team approach is helpful for top management to retain control without being included too deeply into day-to-day activities. While on the other hand, employees are faced with the issue of dual report. We know that Jeff now has 2 managers, and they might give him conflict instructions, which possibly could lead to frustration and cause confusion. Advantages of such team approach would be that it is acceptable for traditional project management. It allows to control the project completion without being included too deeply into day-to-day activities, and it provides facilitation of decision-making. While, on the other hand, there is an issue of dual command. Team leader is also restricted into assigning team members to task completion. And there is definitely difficult performance evaluation. The second team approach would be functional. It is permanent, and it's always including same departments with different responsibilities. In such team approach, it's important to understand that here, manager is responsible for everything, and everyone reports to him. Here, for example, the product idea was provided again by the sales department, and it is being passed on to research and development department to evaluate its feasibility. Once that's done, it's being passed to the design department for implementing appealing look and feel, taking care of usability, and making the product user-friendly. And later on, it's being passed on manufacturing development department for implementation. Such team approach, now we understand what it's also called a baton passing. It requires manager to oversee the entire project and make sure that there are no obstacles on the way of project completion. Such team approach handles perfectly routine tasks. It also provides line management control, and the particular advantage is that you always have assistance of other departments, while on the other hand, such approach can be found inflexible, and there is upward decision-making, and communication in functional team can be complicated. And the last one, but not least, cross-functional team approach. Let me just tackle it briefly here, and later I'll elaborate more. Cross-functional team consists of members from various departments. These teams tackle specific tasks that require different inputs and the expertise. Now, let's explore more of these. I'll tell you more about cross-functional team approach, and later on we'll understand what its advantages and disadvantages. It's important to understand here that cross-functional team approach contributes to business success by bringing together individuals with diverse skills, knowledge, and perspectives to tackle complex problems and generate innovative solutions. Personally, I've got roots in design department, and I've always cared, and I always will, about aligning both business goals and user needs. While sales department cares about increasing revenue, and development department for fostering innovation. By having people with various backgrounds in our company, we can always be sure that the goals of the organization are advanced throughout the entire project. Cross-functional team increases efficiency because you're working with personnel from different departments. The team can address potential challenges before moving too far along in the process. And by combining different viewpoints and knowledge, just imagine we've got on board customer support, sales, science team, front-end and back-end, research and UX design teams. With all that together, cross-functional team can increase innovation. We can find holistic solutions to meet the needs of the organization because we can see perspectives of each other. So advantages of cross-functional team approach, as you could see, could be high speed of completion tasks. We are able to tackle various project types. And most importantly, cross-functional team is perfectly capable of providing extraordinary ideas. While on the other hand, there is definitely cohesion difficulties to deal with, and management of such team is 100% challenging. Unfortunately, such diversity can also cause conflict. And now you are all packed with theory, and what's left is only the most tasty stuff because it's personal. Let me share with you the case from Fire Studio practice and the project I'm currently leading. Let me provide you the background why client came to us in the first place. So the company was founded in 2002, and since then it existed without design department like ever. The client managed to hold top positions and have contracts signed with top clients for as long as 18 years. Yes, they developed the science of a process, and that's why they managed to hold it. But with years passing by, competitors started catching up, and that started the process of losing clients. In the end, the company is up for a big change. In early 2021, enterprise client discovered a need to innovate. They decided to adopt cross-functional team approach to bring in diverse skills, knowledge, and perspectives of their team members from various areas of their organization. At that point, in the middle of a year, they finally realized they are lacking design department, and thanks God, also known as Fire Studio sales department, we found each other, and the company has found their last missing puzzle. Yes, that's the one, our brilliant UX design team. Just to be clear, I don't know what that guy in the bottom left corner is doing here. I mean, on the interview, he told me that he would get a dog, and it's been like 2 years, and still none. Now back to business. In early 2022, on a quarterly town hall meeting, the client announces that their goal of the year is to, I'm quoting, build a high-performing team and culture. I'd like to take a moment here and ask you to reflect, like, what do you remember our beginning of 2022? And if you take a pause and try to remember anything, you could discover that you don't remember much. The reason for that is that we are in a post-COVID crisis at that time, and the world is transforming. Also, the war in Ukraine was a massive historic and economic shock to the markets. The shock of the war was one of the main factors that had slowed economic growth in 2022 to just as little as 3.1%. And key takeaways of that situation are that strategists expect a meaningful earning recession of -16% for 2023. And yet, taking into account all that, we are building a high-performing team and culture. And jokes aside, we really managed to do that. Now, let me introduce you briefly to everyone here and share more about our processes. So, Konstantin Sobol here is responsible for area of prototyping in UX design team. End-to-end validation, quarterly validation, client's demo, everything you could imagine interactive about the product is his major. Dennis Rubin successfully manages our core design system and data visualization design system as part of that. Later on, you could hear him having speech about that today. And unfortunately not on board with us anymore, Nicholas Vachluyev drove the innovation and placed our thinking outside of comfort zone, which affected our solutions tremendously in the best possible way. And me here making sure that my team's needs are being covered. Also, I provide business transparency of UX design teamwork, and I contribute to product vision as part of cross-functional team mutual effort. At this product, we've built processes, 4 products, and we have managed to integrate it to product development cycle cross-functionally. We also received the recognition from colleagues, some of which are here in that company for more than 10 years, and that's extremely valuable when you get this recognition from such kind of people. Let me also quickly share with you our internal process here. It is based on fundamental principles of UX design, and my team has specifically asked to bring your attention to that vicious circle. It is called validation, and you never know on which kind of feature you'll end up iterating more than 5 times. And after that's done, we, with help of feedback, which was incredibly important from development department, managed to build a unique handoff system. With all that in mind and embedding cross-functional team approach into client's company, we've managed to increase sales by 100% per quarter. I'd like to take a chance to elaborate on that, because it is clearly related to the first customer new generation tool release, which was earlier that year. And with that prototype and tool built, the client took part at NRF conference, which is held by world's largest retail trade association. It is extremely important to be recognized for a client in retail field at such level. And with that cross-functional team approach, in the end of a year, we've discovered that company's revenue was increased by 37%. I think it's now fair to say that people around here in our client's company and in my team, we believe that cross-functional collaboration brings diversity to an organization, and it definitely helps keeping goals aligned, both financial and non-financial. Now, to sum up this talk, I'd like to bring your attention to the phrase which was said by Marissa Mayer, who is ex-CEO at Yahoo. When you need to innovate, you need collaboration. Now, let me repeat this to make sure you remember that. When you need to innovate, you need collaboration. By combining the expertise of team members from different areas, cross-functional teams can provide a more comprehensive and holistic approach to problem solving, leading to better decision-making and improved outcomes. In addition, cross-functional team approach helps to foster a culture of collaboration, communication, and trust, which, in the end of the road, equals increased employee engagement and job satisfaction. And please, don't forget about dogs. Thank you. That was all. Natalie Moore.